Welcome to the NBA Coast to Coast podcast brought to you by Lines.com. Coming to you from the West Coast. Josh Lander, joined by Nate Weitzer. He's on the East Coast. We've got some player props here on a Monday for you guys. Plenty of games to choose from in the NBA's. Come back from the weekend here. We are going to be looking at those player props in this one. Also have best bets with some sides and totals in the other episode. And we are bringing both of those to you each and every weekday. So make sure to subscribe to that channel and continue to follow along. Definitely want to make sure you check out the description of the video as well. We've got the link to the newsletter coming out every Friday. Helps you stay on top of everything you need to know in the sports betting news world. Also have a bonus parlay from Nate and myself in there for you guys with some nice plus money each Friday. So make sure you are checking that out. Let's go ahead and jump right into your play-up prop here for Monday, Nate.
Yeah, I'm going to keep going with Kawhi. Hopefully he's back in the lineup here. See, over 22.5 points and over 6.5 rebounds separately are both priced really well. When you combine them now, the books are juicing that up. So I'll put the half unit on each of them because he's hit that points in 8 straight. He's hit the rebounds in 6 of his last 8, I believe. And yeah, sat Sunday for what's being described as knee management. So he should be good to go on another 2 days rest spot. And that's what I've tried to target the last 2 times. It has certainly hit. He managed to hit in just 29 minutes in a blowout over Brooklyn, got 31. Did not get the rebounds, but 31 and 6. And I mean, yeah, you look at his splits when he has 2 days rest. It is quite stark. So limited minutes plus 2 days. Definitely trust him, even against Orlando, which while they're good, I mean, they do allow a lot of field goal attempts on ISO plays defensively because I think they trust their guys to hold up. And look, Kawhi is going to score on anybody in isolation. Like when he's healthy, like he's just been an absolute machine. In March, like insane shooting splits. The Clippers have insane shooting splits as a team when he's out there because he's just been a problem. And he did have 29 and 11 in the trip to Orlando last March as he kind of ramps up into the playoffs. Really, I feel like the only way this doesn't hit is if he is truly having a knee flare up and the Clips like trot him out there for limited minutes and try to just middle it that way. But I think they're going to just pick their spots with Kawhi down the stretch here, right? Be like, if you're going your 36 minutes. You're going to get right for the playoffs. Treat this like the playoffs where you get your days off in between and get you in that prime form so that you can be playoff Kawhi.
Yeah, I mean, you added the sort of caveat at the end there, but I mean, that disclaimer you wouldn't feel the need to put that disclaimer out if it was anybody but Kawhi Leonard, because we've just had too much experience of not knowing even what's going on with Kawhi. Like, we're kind of like a girlfriend who's been cheated on so many times. We're just like, I'll see it. I'll believe it when I see it. I'm so scarred from trying to bet on you that one time a year and a half ago, and you just didn't play for some reason. So I like you covering yourself with that, but it's only because it's Kawhi. It's like, we don't need insurance like that to this degree, like we do on Kawhi Leonard when we're talking about his bets. So just keep that in mind. Like, the flare up of the knee is something that is just not really, we can't project that, but we can at least know that if Kawhi's out there, he's been on a complete heater, and that he's a good bet in this game after a day of rest. And they want to continue to win. They lost to the Cavs. They want to keep pace. They gave up 6th place to the Dubs. Like, they need a W here, and that's why Kawhi was like, look, we might beat Cleveland, we might not without Kawhi, but we're going to beat Orlando with Kawhi. So that's what their thought process is here. Bam out of the Bayou, Adebayo. This could take some cojones. So before you turn off the episode, I am going under 35.5 PRA on Bam against the world's worst defensive team against centers in the history of the NBA. I totally get it. It's in their DNA at this point. I think it's just like Trump. Like, everybody is bad at guarding centers when they get to the Wizards. That's just what it is. But there's just no reason to play Bam. Like, there's the Wizards aren't playing their guys. The Heat are in 10th. Maybe they catch the Bulls for 9th, which is wild. But they're in 10th, and they're not going to get 11th. Like, the Raptors are about to be eliminated from the playoffs as well pretty soon. So they're comfortable in the play-in tournament, but they don't need Bam in this game. They've been playing him slightly fewer minutes when they haven't needed him to. If you look at some of the recent game logs for him, playing 31 minutes tops when he's playing teams like the Wizards, which is the amount of minutes he played in both games against them this year. And the reason that I'm telling you, I understand it takes cojones to go under on him when he had 48 and like 36 PRA against them this season. Not looking like a really favorable matchup to go under on, but I have him at like 29, 30 minutes. And I also look at the last roughly 10 games since Kel'el Ware became the center and Bam Adebayo became the power forward. He has achieved double-digit rebounds one time in that time frame, because that's just not where he is on the floor anymore. Kel'el Ware is the guy who's the rim protector, which makes sense. Bam is like 6'9". Like Bam is an incredible one-on-one defender on most guys all over the floor. Maybe not point guards, maybe not some shooting guards, but pretty much everybody else. Bam is a good to a very good defender against all these players from all spots on the floor. Why limit him to this like drop coverage where he's he's a little bit less utilized, and now they have him out guarding and just shutting down fours and like don't be taking the Miles Bridgeses or of the world against Bam Adebayo at this point. That's going to be the types of guys that he's matching up against. But that has also just led to him not being as involved in the rebounding because he's guarding guys on ball more who are doing a little bit more ball handling out on the wing or in the extended paint. And then he's doing a decent amount of assisting, but I just like adding all of it because the points are at 21.5. And that's a big part of the fade here is like, I think this should be at about 18.5. He's at 29.5 PRA per game in the games that he's played 28 to 32 minutes. So you give him that range that I'm looking at here of like 28 to 32, not really seeing him playing much more than that. And this is a really a great number to go under regardless of the matchup because I just don't think he's going to be the focal point of the offense. And then he's not going to be getting nearly as many ancillary stuff. And then we'll get him out of the game by the beginning of the fourth quarter.
Yeah, that's the key, right? I mean, it's the Wiz. They just gave up 162. This is like a mini vacation for the Heat because they played the Sixers who were trying to lose so badly. Now the Wiz, then they get a day off
Right.
For Boston, Memphis, Milwaukee in
Thank
3
you.
nights.
Yep.
Right. So it's absolutely a spot to get Bam some rest. I thought Khalil Weber might be exploitable based on what you're saying, but books are wise. It's minus 120 for a double-double. His props are up there. But yeah, if you just want to fade the points, you can get minus 110, 21.5 under at FanDuel for Bam. I don't see why he would need to score against this Wizards team. So yeah,
agree. I cannot believe I didn't lead with that. That was when I saw the schedule upcoming for Miami, where I'm like 3 games in 4 nights at Boston, Memphis, Milwaukee. Why would you play him against the Wizards? That's the start of the bet here. Can't have him play in the fourth quarter, like you said.
Yeah, fantastic value if you take that context. So yeah, let me go Spencer Dinwiddie over 12.5 points. Also the best price on FanDuel, minus 110. He ain't Dinwiddie, Josh. He's all right. And they sent Brandon Williams back to the G League, so this point guard role is his going forward. Good chemistry with AD as well. 38% assist rate in the 3 games AD's played, averaging 15 a game, but going way over his props in the 2 that were not against Orlando, which is number 1 limiting assists. And, he, in one of those was against Brooklyn, where he goes for 16 and 12 in just 29 minutes of a blowout. It's possible this is a blowout as well, but I mean, the 12.5 points ain't much. He's averaging 17.8 in his last 10. The points are way more exploitable than the assists, which are at like 9.5 at this point and don't really need to combine them. I do think he finds ways to score against this Brooklyn defense, which is quite vulnerable to places, and they just continue to sit guys and has D'Lo at the point of attack. He's also averaging 17.8 his last 5 matchups against D'Lo with a 133 offensive rating. So, yeah, I mean, not much more complicated than that. This is just pretty damn low for a guy who's the trigger man for an offense that needs the ball handler and a playmaker, and they just sent his backup down. So it's just him and Jaden Hardy really at the point guard position against the Nets team that has a pretty big skeleton crew, pretty big void there at the point of attack.
Yeah. Man, Jaden Hardy at the point is a terrifying notion. I don't think that man has averaged 2 potential assists per game. So yeah, the ball handling is going to come from different places, but Dinwiddie is going to be the main guy. I can't get away from Dinwiddie. I'm sorry, but you put him in the right spot like this. I totally concur. Like he's always looked really good. He's got enough height. He's got so much speed. He's so slithery. It's just at times where his shot isn't falling and then he does dumb stuff, then you get frustrated with him. But if he's got the talent around him, that he can trust these guys. He's not relied upon to do that much. Going to be a great player for them when they have this form of this team next season. So let me close it out with the wagon. That is,
oh yeah,
Gafford,
Davis, and PJ. He's got 3 good pick and roll partners.
Yeah, it's going to look great. He's going to have some really trustworthy guys on the wing for spot ups. One of them will probably be Clay. He could be a legit point guard next year for things like fantasy. So keep that in mind. Let me close it out with the wagon that is Kristaps Porzingis' first quarter points. It's pretty crazy and wild, which I just formed into the word wild. But I'm taking over 5.5 points for Kristaps in the first quarter here. That is still minus 105 on Bet365. If you got to take 6.5 for like plus 120 on places like DraftKings or FanDuel, which is going to be a little bit more common, I think, on those types of common books, you're going to see a little bit more of the 6.5 for plus money. I'm still there. I'm still with it at like plus 110, plus 120. Dude, he's played 25 games since he came back from like pretty legit injury back in January. Came back, played 1 game, the first game back, played the Thunder, played like 5 minutes in the first quarter. Since then, there have been 25 games that he's played, and he has gotten 6 points in the first quarter in 20 of those 25 games. That is a very good hit rate. Then you look at the field goal attempts in the minutes, and it's not just random luck. It's not like he's shooting 70% from the field in the first quarter. He's taking 5 shots, and he's taking 1.5 free throws per first quarter, while averaging 8 to 10 minutes, like usually gets about 9 minutes in the first quarter as well. I love that. I absolutely love that, and I'm going to keep coming back to it. It hasn't hit 5 times, but it's hit 20 of them, and the reason is the volume. And I love that we can bank on stuff in the first quarter where you have these set rotations that we've seen right from Missoula. Like Joe Maz has very clear-cut rotations. If all 5 guys are in, KP 8 to 9 minutes, JT like 7 minutes, JB like 9 minutes. It's a very clear-cut rotation on the times of when these guys are coming in, so you can bank on minutes and volume, and that's the name of the game in sports betting. So with a first quarter bet, yeah, there's a bit of a risk, and it's frustrating when he doesn't hit it, but then he gets his over in the second quarter or something like that. I understand, but this is just a wagon. And if JB does not play, because he is still questionable in this game, love it even more. The other thing I love is we know for a fact that Zach Edey is going to be his matchup to start the game, because that's who starts the game. And on the other parts of the game, I can't guarantee you he's going to be on the floor at the same time as Edey, but when he is in the first quarter, love it. Like you want Zach Edey to come all the way out to the 3-point line. I'm seeing at least 1 3 and then like 2 more shots and a free throw from KP to get us there. So just nail that 3, big dog, and we'll be good to go. But even if he doesn't, like I said, 5 shots per first quarter, he's going to have plenty of opportunities to still get those points.
Yeah, that's exactly why I hit under 16.5 points rebounds for Edey last night. It's down 1, so maybe losing a little bit of the value. But yeah, I just think Boston plays him right off the floor. Like there's no way he can hold up defensively. This is the biggest knock on him as far as his versatility at the NBA game. And we've seen it time and again. I mean, you keep using Kristaps against the Cavs to be like, he's going to draw this big away from the basket, set the tone right away with the perimeter play. And Edey is a much easier matchup than Jared Allen, for example. So, yeah, wheels up for sure.
Yeah, he just did it to Kling Kong against the Blazers, too. He's done it twice to Donovan Clingan now as well. So just played him right off the floor because it's KP. But that's all the time we have for you in Play Up Props. Definitely make sure to subscribe to that channel. Don't miss out on the best bets we have for you as well. And until we see you next, happy betting.